What's up? All right. So found this video. Boy, we actually got a great show today. I just sometimes you just get lucky, with all of the videos that come out in a particular day. And I just happen upon a bunch of really crazy, funny, uh, and just fun I think just to break apart videos. Yeah, I said that right. You heard it wrong. That's what that is. Um, so we're gonna get into this. This is the first one that we got here. Is Frank Turek went back onto Charlie Kirk. Apparently, they're bros because they're both. It's the fascism. It brings people together, specifically white people that hate everybody and love guns. But it does bring those people together. So we're gonna. Apparently, they try to debate AI, but I feel like that's clickbait. I don't know. Well, we're gonna get into it. Probably a probably a trigger warning on this one. Just gonna be straight up. But yeah. Anyway, I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. Oh hell yeah! The chat looks so much better. It's like you can actually read. You can actually read the chat. I was like, I need it to be dark behind the chat. You see how I updated my little screen here? Got the new logo and stuff. Not the new logo, like the new wording, lettering. I don't know what the hell to call it. It's new and it looks cool. I don't know. I like it.
I'm gonna have you debate our AI in a second.
Let's do it, man.
Frank is.
I'm going to have you debate our AI. Okay. I would love to see C3PO just like come up and be like, I am an expert on human cyborg relations.
One of my mentors and friends and teachers, and we've been
that is so sad.
Studying together.
Oh yeah,
here in Phoenix. It's kind of our off season, right? So it's a little different than an NFL player. I have 2 off seasons.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit different than an NFL player. Really, man? Like, I'm actually just like an NFL player because I have times where I don't do the thing that I do. Just like those athletes that are super jacked and like, get all the ladies and everything. I'm basically like them because I don't work sometimes.
The year. So my on, it's similar to you. You're on season one, fall and spring.
Yeah, well, I'm doing colleges too, just not as many as you, man. You're killing it.
How many do you do?
We try and
killing it. Oh God, you're weird.
Do anywhere between 15 and 20 a year. You're doing 50.
Doesn't Frank, especially right here from the side, he looks like somebody that's a voyeur. He's been arrested like 4 times for voyeurism. Like that's just his look. He's got that look like he's been in some trees with some binoculars. If you're British, but yeah,
you're doing 25 a semester.
Yeah, we do about 50 to 60 a year.
Look at that face. Look at that. That is voyeur. That is just creeper face, dude. All day.
Yeah, the pace is out.
Yeah, but it's great.
And so,
and Charlie just looks like an asshole or an idiot. Just an idiot. Yeah, and an asshole. Both. I don't know. It's probably just because I know the thoughts that are in his head that he looks like that, but whatever.
Just remind your audience,
his face is too small. So it's,
you do cross-examined. You have the best books out on Christian apologetics.
You have the best books out. Really? You have the best books of Christian apologetics, by the way. You have the best ones.
That's what my mom says.
Yes.
Yeah.
He even messes with them on that.
That's right.
That's right. I don't have enough faith to be an atheist is the big one. Stealing from God. Why atheists need God to make their case. Those.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So the 2 biggies on apologetics.
And
so funny. And like Frank Turek's whole bag is like, we got to have a standard. You can't have right and wrong without some kind of an objective standard. And then the ironic part is he constantly uses slavery as an example. How are we going to know that slavery is wrong if you don't have an objective standard? And it's like, okay, what is the objective standard? The Bible. Oh, the thing that's like says that it's okay to own slaves and actually okay to beat them as long as they don't die as a direct result. But if they get up after a day or 2, you haven't done anything wrong because they're just fucking property.
Oh, you go to college campuses and you do similar type vibe that I do. Open question, open mic, and your stuff has gone very viral throughout the years.
Similar vibe. Okay.
Before we dive into just some of the fun, because I'm going to have you debate our AI in a second.
Let's do it, man.
But before we do that, what are some of the changes?
Let's do it, man. And if you want to do it with some men, just go to. Sorry, I know you're looking at those two men, and you're like, I actually don't want to do it with any men ever. Actually, though, given what I'm looking at on the screen here, I hate men, just all of them, just all men. I hate them. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. Hashtag we're not all like that. We're not all men. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout. Get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley. All right. Getting started early, but they said a thing.
Is today 2025 versus what you've heard from students 5 years ago and 10 years ago?
Well, let's go back 15 years ago.
Right.
In the heyday of the...
I actually was talking about just 5 and then 10, 15. Did I say anything about 15? That's a little bit too far. Okay. I was like 10 years old at that point. Like, what do you do?
New atheists. We got so many questions from atheists and we got so much pushback from atheists, but I'm going to schools now, Charlie, and the organizers are saying,
I don't know why. It weirds me out when people go on like famous people's shows and then they have to like say their first name a whole bunch. It's weird. I don't know.
Hey, when you come and talk about the evidence for Christianity, could you spend more time on the New Testament than whether or not God exists? Because we're having trouble finding a lot of atheists on campus. Okay, atheism is waning.
It's because they're killing us all.
And the idea that there's at least some spiritual force out there is gaining strength. And now Christianity is being looked at from
we're just being terrorized into silence. That's all that is, man. Like, you kind of have a fascist regime in power right now. You're encouraging people to be your religion so that they can be the star quarterback on a team, because it's cool for coaches to just pray with their students in the middle of the fucking field, and the atheists and stuff, of course, are not going to want to publicly be like, yeah, I don't agree with it. Like, because they might actually want to play the game and actually, be treated equally by the staff and stuff. Anyway,
all areas, as you know, because people are now, what's driving people to consider Christianity? Evil. There's too much evil in the world. So things are getting worse and worse, and people are
like, you guys existing.
Going, there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be some standard out there. Maybe
so there it is. There's got to be some standard.
Be able to look at Christianity again and the work
the standard that nobody can demonstrate what it is. But it's got to be there, though. Otherwise, my whole argument falls apart.
What we're doing on college campuses is making people see Christianity as at least plausible.
Yes.
This guy, Charlie Kirk, is
really that's sad. Yeah, it's like we are like winning so hard because we're making Christianity look at least kind of plausible a little bit. Maybe I know it includes like a talking donkey, and it has everything to do with an undead carpenter ghost that we say lives inside of our heart that we pretend to cannibalize on a regular basis. But it could be kind of plausible if you think about it, from since you don't think about it. Actually, just feel it in your heart.
Really sharp. And he believes in Christianity is making people see Christianity as at least plausible. This guy, Charlie Kirk, is really sharp. And he believes in Christianity. Maybe I ought to look at Christianity again.
That sounded so sarcastic. Hold on. I feel like I got to hear that one more time. I know it's the third time, but he's like, this guy's really sharp. And it's like, are you making fun of him? Because it sounds like you're making fun of him.
Christianity, the political world.
Yes, that's right. Primarily.
Yeah. And so people are going, Charlie is one of the sharpest speakers I've seen, and he is an evangelical.
Said sharp again, dude. What is it with the sharp thing? I feel like that's a word. Maybe it's just in my, the circles of friends that I'm within. when you say somebody's sharp, you're making fun of them. You are making, oh yeah, you're a sharp guy, man. Boy, is he sharp. Well, you know, should call him Gillette. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's, you know, he doesn't give a shit. Oh, sharp guy over there. You know what I mean?
Well, Christian, maybe he knows something I ought to look into.
I do hear that feedback a lot. By the way, the most promising.
I do actually hear people tell me how super sharp. I'm sorry, not smart. Sharp I am. Sharp as a tack. A lot of people say.
Thing that we receive, freedom@charliekirk.com, our emails or message on social media. We probably get 1,000 a year. Charlie, I believe in God because of you. I go back to church, and that doesn't count the comments. Because the comments you don't know, they could be trolls or whatever.
Like,
but
I get 1,000 people a year that say that I'm so smart that people are Christians because of me.
We get thousands of comments. Charlie, I've strengthened my faith in God and Jesus. And
look at his face, dude. What the fuck, dude? He is creepy. He is creepy, man. He's a serial killer. That just full stop, dude. What the hell is wrong with his face? He has serial killer face. Jesus.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm pro-life because of you, and that's awesome because that's an ultimate purpose
Mm-hmm.
to what we do. It's not the sole purpose. I mean, we believe that once we instruct people
it's the ultimate purpose, but not the sole purpose.
Civil law, then that will point people to Christ. But no, it's a very exciting.
What? Hold on. I gotta go back to that.
To what we do. It's not the sole purpose. I mean, we believe that once we instruct people of the civil law, then that will point people to Christ.
How? What? Why? Why would you're like, here's civil law? Just like, you know, the undead carpenter ghost that like forgives everybody, no matter who they unalived or who they hurt or what evil thing they did. Doesn't matter because, you know, as long as you ask forgiveness and mean it, then you're totally good. That's, you know, that has something to do with civil law.
But no, it's a very exciting moment. Would you say that? I don't think atheism is dead. My friend Eric Metaxas, I think, gets a little bit ahead of himself.
He gets a lot of things up in himself. You know what I mean? That guy's fucking idiot. That's what he is.
But it seems to be dying.
Yeah, it's waning.
Yes.
And the difference between 15 years ago and now is
it's the time that has passed. I don't know. And we weren't dealing with a lunatic fascist for over a decade. Why are we still dealing with this fucking fascist that is just constantly in the news? Anyway, all right. How's everybody doing? Y'all feeling okay? Doing all right? It's Thursday. It's our big stream day. That's what this is my, you know, this is like the stream day for everybody. Anyway, it's when I feel like it's just when we find the coolest stuff. That's what it is. It just happens to be the best stream because I happen to find the coolest shit on Thursdays. It's weird. I don't know what it is. Who won today? Let's see. Seriously, who won? Why aren't you? Oh, there it is. Pandora's Pinata. Of course. Would you give somebody else a chance? Holy shit. It's just every day. Pandora's Pinata is just kicking everybody in the head to get to the front every time and just totally rocks it. No, what's up, Pandora? How you doing? It's good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, Egg Theist. I'm sorry. I got to read the comments too. I always forget to do that. Egg Theist for the win. Yeah, I mean, and that would be like a really hard atheist position, right? From what I understand, because it's kind of just saying that the entire question itself is meaningless, right? Because of how, you know, the concept of a God is so ambiguous, even from person to person, that it's like, what, you know, what are we even going to talk? What are we even talking about? Because it's so individualized for each for each person, and they sort of just have their own interpretation of even what a God is, even within the same religion. It's not even like I'm talking about people of different religion. I'm talking about like two people of the same fucking religion. They can have wildly differing interpretations of what they think the Christian God is. And, you know, of course, you get all the denominations and all the interpretations of all the denominations and all the interpretations of all the doctrines of the denomination. And, you know, it just moves on. But, and yeah, so yeah, I actually like the atheist position. I don't know if I would say I hold it specifically. But I do identify with it a lot. We'll put it that way. I don't know. I have the hardest time locking into one position. But this is mine. This is my position, and I'm going to stick to it. Because I change my mind a lot. Not a lot though. Not like by a lot. Anyway, just frequently. That's what I mean by a lot. Anyway, all right. Who was second? Andrew was second. What's going on? Andrew said, "Rock on, mother muchacha." What? Like, hold on, rock on, you mother muchachas. You mother muchachas. That's awesome. That actually sounds really cool. I would love to hear, a Latinx person say that. Yeah, that's funny. And Mighty Filbert was third. How we doing, dude? What's going on? He said, when I stand erect on 2 feet. Why? I don't think you understand what standing erect. Forget it. I feel like you're mixing up horizontal and vertical. It's fine. And Tracy's here. How we doing, Tracy? What's going on? We also got Bomb Poppy. Love the new emoji. Very nice. Like the blue hair. It's looking good. It's pretty cool. Is that Manic Panic or a filter? It's a filter, isn't it? It's just like it's Instagram. I don't know. They can change colors and stuff or something. Anyway, we also got Tsunami. How you doing, Tsunami? Oh, that's Pandora's Pinata again. But that's Tsunami. How you doing? What's going on? I don't know how to. I don't know how to respond to the poll because I'm not sure where I fit anymore. What? Are you saying you're not an atheist anymore? You're like, I don't know. I think maybe there's a God, and it is Xenu. And I'm getting ready to pay the $10,000 so that I can learn the secret of life, and do some of that screaming at each other for therapeutic reasons or something. Anyway, what do I say? Not Christianity though. That shit is garbage. That's what I was saying. Yeah, Scientology. That's the best game in town. Just as long as you're a billionaire, then you'll be good. Anyway, it's Drizilla. How's it going? Sorry, well, you're not forgiven. All right. I don't know how many times I got to tell you to be on fucking time every time, and then you're just showing up whenever you feel like it. Like it's just what are we even doing here? It's ridiculous. Spooky, how you doing? So I'm not sorry. I'm like, see, yeah, well, fine. That's that's fine. I guess it's only when people are sorry that I get mad. Anyway, what is that? Pandora's Pinata said, I gave people a chance on Monday. A chance to what? What a chance at what? To like get with you? Is that yeah? Okay. Just opening yourself up like that, huh? Okay. It's kind of weird. A little inappropriate, probably. All right. Anyway, here we go.
People used to wonder if Christianity was true. Now they're asking, is Christianity good? So the top 3 objections on a college campus that I get, and I think you're getting.
What the fuck? Wait, he said people used to ask if Christianity was true. Now that's just been established. And so now we're just like, okay, it's true. We get that. But is it good though? It really? What?
If you think about it, the top 3 objections to Christianity are morality, morality, and morality.
Oh,
and Charlie,
man.
We don't like judgment.
Those are all 3 the same word. That was clever. That was clever of you, Frank.
In our country.
You creepy looking motherfucker.
Right? We want God.
You made out of Play-Doh? I feel like you're made out of Play-Doh. You were squeezed through a factory, a fun factory.
God to be, as C.S. Lewis put it, a benevolent old man who just wanted to look down and see that everybody was having a good time.
Yeah, we want to be nicer than God.
Right. But God is the God of judge. He's infinitely just and he's infinitely loving.
Which is funny because the campus group is very big on justice. That's their big
I know.
thing. Yeah. But not really. They say they are. But
that's why I always ask them, look, there's 2 things you can have in the afterlife. You can have either justice or grace. Does anybody here want justice in the afterlife? I don't want justice. I want grace. If I get justice, Charlie, I'm toast. An infinitely just being is going to judge me. He's got.
It's like nothing means anything at that point. Like if you like the way that they talk about God, like an infinitely perfect being or whatever, and then that means that just everybody's evil. So then there's no such thing as not evil. There's just such thing as evil, but God doesn't, torture you for all eternity if you say these magic words, but he's all about justice. It makes no fucking sense.
I haven't been infinitely just, so I deserve justice.
What do you have
What's up, JT? How we doing, man?
to say, and this is an AI generated one, but I hear this all the time. This helps me kind of remember about the Bible. And I think I know your answer to this. And I've read a couple books about.
Why does he have like the little twisty kind of thing by his ear? Like what is that? Because you clearly you don't have to have that, right? Does Frank Turek have that? Or do they both have that weird little fucking secret agent like earpiece thing like that? Oh my god, what a loser!
About this, but that the story of the Old Testament closely resembles Canaanite and Mesopotamian deities. That the Old Testament has like a lot of similarities, such as the story of Moses or the creation story or a flood story.
Oh yeah, sure. Every ancient culture has a flood story.
Sure.
Now, what do you think the reason for that is?
Because floods happen a lot. Like it was literally flooded down the street like 2 days ago, man. Like I literally couldn't leave my house because of a flood. They're they're like ubiquitous. This is planet wide. They're just everywhere, man. Because we're on a planet where it rains a lot, and then water piles up on its goddamn it.
Because there's
a flood, right? Everybody had some sort of story related to it. But if you look at the story of Moses,
local floods, Frank. Local. They're all over the place all the time, man. Just constant.
For example, you don't find parallels that are all that close, and if you do, it doesn't necessarily mean that Moses copied. What's unique about the Israelites is that they are told to be separate from their neighbors. That's one reason they're pushing out.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is where it's like weird when they use the word copied, because when you say that word, it makes you think of like somebody like looking at somebody else's paper. It's like what Josh Bowen was talking about this, and he was saying that when you hear that word copy, you think of somebody just literally writing down somebody else's stuff, and then like this is mine now. This is like which is not how it works. When they're talking about it coming out of those things, it was a morphing of those stories as they came. They like took those stories because they had people that were telling those stories prior, and then they altered them through other mythology as like the myths evolved, because myths evolve. That's like we know this, we've seen it happen a lot. It's that obviously like that. To me, I feel like that makes perfect sense that like a lot of these stories came from like earlier cultures and shit like that. But of course, they're like, no, they were the first culture. I don't even know what you're talking about. There was no one on Earth before the first Israelites, who were Adam and Eve, by the way. Yeah, they were the first ones. No, that's not okay.
The Canaanites, wholly separate, right?
Same word.
The last thing they want to do is borrow from the people.
Like you were saying, holy like he's Robin from that old Batman show. Holy separate Batman
that they're trying to separate from. In fact, neighbors. That's one reason they're pushing out the Canaanites. Wholly separate, right?
Same word.
Batman.
The last thing they want to do is borrow from the people that they're trying to separate from. In fact, what happens to them is when they do get too intermingled with the Canaanites, God.
I thought you just said that they were trying to stay separate. Yet they're like, okay, but they did actually get too intermingled with them. I guess they didn't do the thing they were trying to do. It was an accident. They accidentally intermingled too much.
God judges them and continues to say, "You're playing the harlot. You're going with Baal. You're going with all these other deities, and you should be worshiping me." So he judges them.
Oh, so it did happen then. Like, what? how do you like go against your own statement that you just made 2 seconds ago?
And so, without getting into too much detail, though, is there any credence to this idea that the Bible was copied regionally between other River Valley civilization mythologies?
I have not necessarily heard that objection, but I can tell you from
Bill Maher said that on our show.
Oh.
Remember, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, here's
like I've never. God, I love this. Even Charlie Kirk's like, come on, man. Hey, Frankie, look, don't say you've never heard that before, because you heard it next to me when you were on camera, being projected out to the exact audience that you're being projected out to right now. And now you're saying you've never heard that. Are you a fucking liar or stupid? Which is it, man? Because he's just like, dude, no, you did actually hear it on camera in front of Jesus.
Here's the problem. If you look at the archaeologies, let's just look at the archaeology.
Yeah, the archaeologies. Did you just pluralize archaeology?
Let's go back to Joshua and Jericho. The evidence from Jericho shows that, oddly, the walls fell down and out. There's no other city that has ever been discovered where the walls have fallen straight down and out. When you
okay, citation fucking needed on all of this, but okay.
take over a city, you go inward, you crush the wall,
You smash the walls so that they fall in. That's how they do it. When armies come, they push their walls down from the inside. I mean, from the outside in. That's how, and you squash them. You squash them with their walls. It was a very common battle tactic back then. Dude, clearly, like, they get in how they get in, and then they fucking light the place on fire, and then the walls fall over. The fucking walls fall, man. What are you talking about? This is so stupid. But there's so much more wrong with this than, of course, he's mentioning. The time period in which the story is claimed to have happened is way off. And so what it looks like, as far as I can tell, according to the scholarship, the scholarship that aren't brainwashed people that are trying to make a mythology true by finding the evidence that, confirms their fucking bias. What it was like way after the fact, and then they made up a myth about the city that they came upon and saw the walls already toppled and the place was already burnt. And so they made up a story. I mean, because again, the timing is just so off. No, and the scholarship, of course, disagrees, as far as I can tell, with these kinds of claims. But these kinds of claims are always going to be made as long as they can find anything that they can twist to make it sound like their mythology could possibly be supported by the artifacts.
knock it down and the walls go inward. Here we find in the dirt there in Jericho that the walls fell out, just like the Bible says.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
And there are, when we just did a 22 1-hour lesson series on the top archaeological discoveries of the Bible, Charlie, we discovered over 107, I think it was 107 people in the Bible that have been found in the dirt. And about 75 of them were from the Old Testament. And many of the events of the Old Testament have corroborative data in the dirt. How would somebody writing the Old Testament, say 1,000 years after Joshua, 1406 BC, know that the walls fell down and out?
Because, again, they discovered the city like that and then just made up mythology about it to scare the other people, the other nations, or whatever. That was us. That was us. We did that. Tell your friends that all we got to do is play some trumpets and walls will fall on your ass. Okay. That's, tell everybody that. Can we write this down? Let's write this down. Yeah, I think that we need. But yeah, again, the timing is way off. The artifacts do not match like the timeline that the Israelites or whatever supposedly went according to. I can't tell you exactly the details because I, not great with ancient timelines, but it's off. That's as far as I understand.
How would he know that? He wouldn't. In fact, you know how many places?
What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? If you came to a place, well, so he's trying to suggest that the timing isn't way off, even though that's pretty obvious as far as the scholarship, the archaeology scholarship.
Are named in the book of Joshua. What is it? 24 chapters in the book of Joshua. There's over 350 named places in the book of Joshua. Just in the book of Joshua, it works out to something like 13 places a chapter. More, more than that even. I can't remember the exact number, but it's crazy how many locations, and many of these place locations have been discovered.
Oh, and this is not actually the places exist. Wow, then I guess the magical walls falling due to the trumpet playing must be true.
Not an invented storyline that was put into writing 1,000 years later. Moses and editors later, there are editors that came after Moses, like they put his death in Deuteronomy. They wrote this down.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, Dan D said, yes, Iron Jericho was already long gone by the time the Israelites showed up. Yeah, I mean, that's what, again, that's like what the archaeology suggests.
At the time.
So here's a question of morality. It's the problem of divine command theory. I've heard this question only once.
What? the problem of divine command theory? Interesting. I've always heard divine command theory is kind of the solution to the problem of your God's evil, man. And they're like, yeah, well, God's not, as long as God does it, because whatever he commands is divine, and just that makes it good, because we just alter the standard of what is right and wrong to be whatever I think my God wants at the time. And if that's genocide, then genocide's good. Okay, that's how it goes.
Is something good because God commands it, or does God command it because it is good?
Euthyphro dilemma from one of Plato's writings.
Yep. Socrates and Euthyphro. Yep.
Socrates says this, and it's supposed to put the.
Well, he says it's a piety, but it's a pious. Anyway,
Believer in God in a dilemma. If you're going to say God is the source of morality, does he look up at a standard beyond him and say, "Oh, that's good, I'll do that"? If so, why you need God? We can do that, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's much of a dilemma, though. Maybe I'm over. I think
no.
The answer to both is yes.
You are correct. Here's why it's not a dilemma. That, if so, why?
Wait, hold on. So he's saying, so they are just saying divine command theory. Period. Like if God says it, then it's good. There is no standard outside of God, because if there was a standard outside of God, then what would we need God for? Therefore, that God, just God is. Like his divine commands are always good, even if they're horrific and disgusting.
The believer in God in a dilemma. If you're going to say God is the source of morality, does he look up at a standard beyond him and say, "Oh, that's good, I'll do that"? If so, why you need God? We can do that. Right?
Well, wouldn't God just be like the communicator of the moral standard to the people? Like, wouldn't he just be the one that's just telling us? He would be the being who is tasked with letting us know what is right and what is wrong. He could do that even if there was some kind of outside standard, which I feel like there'd have to be. Otherwise, it's not objective. Like, how is it? So how can you say that it's objective? It's an objective moral standard, but it's just whatever the fuck God wants at that moment, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's much of a dilemma, though. Maybe I'm over. I think the answer to both is yes.
You are correct. Here's why it's not a dilemma.
Yeah.
Why is it not a dilemma?
Because God himself is, because essence is good.
That's
right?
it.
Am I right?
Yeah, AR is dead on. Because the cities thing and they love to talk about how, hey, the cities were right. The cities that existed when the book was written, like, were actually there then. So that means the book's true, and AR said, like, New York exists, so Spider-Man does exist. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, he's the standard. He doesn't have to look up.
Exactly.
He's not arbitrary. He is the standard.
He is the standard. Yeah.
So it's easily.
He's not arbitrary. He is the standard. Really? What is the reasoning then, man? Like, how does God? And it's like, oh, he's not arbitrary, but we don't know what his reasoning is. But whatever he says is the absolute moral, whatever, perfection. Okay. Jesus Christ. And if you read the book, it absolutely is fucking arbitrary. He has a person executed for picking up sticks on the wrong day to feed his family, to build a fire so that his family, doesn't go hungry that day, since, that being made us to have to eat every day. and didn't make it so that we just don't get hungry on days where we're not allowed to pick up sticks like he could have. No, he said, he executed that person. And I think his whole family. I gotta reread the story.
Answered, and yet atheists online still think this is a good one.
What am I missing about that, though?
You're not missing anything.
Okay.
It's a false.
No, he's not even. He's not even buying it, dude. He's like, hold on, but I feel like I gotta be misunderstood because this is not. All you're saying is it's good just because God, and that's it. So therefore, it's good. That's. That doesn't feel. That feel like we're missing. Am I missing something? No, you're not missing anything. That's how goodness works. If God said it's good, it's good. If God says it, good.
Dilemma. A true dilemma is A or non-A. A false dilemma is A or B. Maybe there's a C. Maybe there's a third option. And in this case, there is. God is the standard. His nature is the moral standard. The
divine command theory, man. See, this was so funny. He's just. This is what I'm saying. Divine command theory is just the explanation of the Euthyphro dilemma or whatever, or just like, it's no matter what like God says, it's always good, and that makes everything. That makes all of the horrific things in the Bible also good, and it basically makes it so that somebody like Frank or Charlie could go out and do horrific things, and that could be good too, as long as they think that God, their God told them that they're supposed to do it. Jesus Christ.
Luck has to stop somewhere. It stops with God's nature.
So I asked AI.
God's nature. But see, this is where. How do you have a God's nature? Like, it's just God's nature to be good all the time, and it's like you've literally made the word good arbitrary. Like his whole thing, he's not arbitrary, yet you've turned the word good and made it arbitrary because you're just making it whatever God is, like whatever he wants right then.
To show how good of a teacher you are, like the best intellectually rigorous questions, and like I can answer most of these honestly.
Why is it? It looks so weird.
And I don't do this professionally. I mean, I do.
His lip is too small or something. I don't know what it is. It's like his mouth is about to eat his nose or something. I'm not sure.
Somewhat of this, but you're like a super professional on this.
If he opens his mouth too wide, he will eat his nose by accident, I think.
And so
that's what my mom says.
Why does he look how creepy that motherfucker? Oh my God. What that he's psycho. He's a psycho killer, dude. The song Psycho Killer is about him. Look at that guy. Imagine that face just in your fucking window in the middle of the night. You just walk out, get some water, and you see that face staring in the window. Oh my God.
I'll read this one. This is from AI. If God desires all people to be saved,
like, yeah, whatever, Frank. You already did that. All right, moving on. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. All right.
And know the truth. Why does he remain hidden or silent to sincere seekers who never experience divine revelation or compelling reason to believe?
Everybody experiences divine revelation because God has written 2 books. Yes, he's written through men what we call the scriptures, the Bible.
Wait, what? Tracy said, why do people keep calling LLMs AI? What is an LLM? I don't know what that is. True. Anyway, they can starve. Wait, what is it? They can starve and go cold. He should have trust God instead of building a fire. yeah, I guess that's what it was.
But he's also written the book of nature. In other words, we could say God has the book of his words and the book of his works. And everybody has the book of his works. Everybody knows there's a creator God who's moral because of the creation. And
everybody doesn't know that because I definitely don't, because it's not true.
Moral law written on the heart.
No, I mean, and yet, well, it's so weird when they do this. It's like, it's so contradictory to their argument. They're like, everybody both like has morality written on their heart, so they will automatically be moral. Yet anything that we choose to do in the flesh is evil, and what you automatically like want to do is always evil, even if you don't feel like it's evil, even though if you're just like, this is just who I am, they're like, but it's evil because it's your flesh nature. But yet God's written his law on your heart. It's so fucking stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a ton wrong with the God's written his law on his heart thing, because then why do people disagree about what is moral then? If God wrote his law on our hearts, why do we all disagree about what morality is? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
And the way we know God is we know God by his effects. So if there's a creation, that's the effect. We reason back to a cause, a creator.
Oh, large language models like ChatGPT. I mean, well, I mean, I thought that was literally I thought that was literally like the what we call it. I thought that was what, I thought that was what AI is. It's just, yeah, large, what do you call it? Large language models like ChatGPT. Yeah, that is AI. The language model is the intelligence part. And the fact that it's a computer, I don't know computer stuff. I just know that it makes stuff that the people that we thought that computers would never be able to make, like works of art and things like that, you know? Anyway, Geo Sam, what's going on, dude? How you doing? So how does fart Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I didn't expect like, how does fart face Jesus Christ. Wow, I totally lost track of it. Anyway, fart face Turek know anything about a god? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he thinks he has a personal relationship with a god, but that's because he's not religious. It's a relationship. Cancer, a morally great design by a loving God. Yeah. Except, well, because that's the thing. And this is again where it breaks down, because human suffering has zero to do with what they think morality has to do with, which that's totally the opposite of what most people think, and them too, because they will use examples like, if you ever hear Frank Turk do his little thing, his little spiel, he'll say, well, we know that it's wrong to hurt babies for fun because whatever, they'll say stuff like that, like, oh, like hurting babies for fun. God's done that before. He drowned a whole planet's worth of babies. I guess everybody wasn't a baby, but like there were a planet's worth of babies there. There was just other people there too, but it sounded, the way I said it the first, never mind. But so God has done that before, right? The firstborn of all the Egyptians and shit. Remember that? Where they had to like, put blood on their doors, because then God would be like, oh, don't kill that baby. There's blood on the doors. I love blood. I just, if there's already blood there, then I'm like, that one must be dead, I guess. I don't know already, because that's weird. But yeah, God did shit like that a lot, but that wasn't wrong because reasons, you know what I mean? It's so he even will sit there and take the standard that is a worldly standard of morality, which is that like human suffering is bad, yet his beliefs suggest that human suffering literally has nothing to do with right and wrong at all. But whatever.
If there's design in the universe, that's the effect. We reason back to a cause, a designer. If there's a moral law written on the heart, that's the effect. We reason back to a cause, a moral lawgiver. So there's nobody in the world who doesn't know.
My God. All these things are subjective interpretations of people, man. You're like, oh, there's a design there. Yeah. Is that what you are seeing? Because you're just seeing something that you think looks like a design. It's just your subjective interpretation. It's just like when they say like, oh, things are too complex. Everything's too complex to not be made by a God. Complexity has complexity is just a subjective interpretation. What if like what we think with our little human brains is complexity is actually ultimate simplicity to something else, that has a broader view of everything, right? Like, it's like, oh man, it's difficult for us to understand because of this, that, and the other thing. Therefore, a God must have done it. when it's just like our brain's just having a hard time keeping up with all the different moving parts or whatever. But like, it's just us deciding that shit.
Oh, that there's a creator God who's moral, and we haven't lived up to that standard. There are people who've never heard of the solution to our moral problem. That's Jesus. But everybody knows that there's a creator moral God, and the Bible.
What is with the fart face thing, man? Did he like fart out of his face one time on camera or something? I missed it. What is the fart face thing, GeoSamp? What is that?
Indicates that if you take a step toward that, the works that he's provided.
Like, yeah, remember that one time? It's like, he tripped and fell down, and then this guy fell down on his head, and Mary farted on his face. Remember, you didn't see that video? And if that is a video, please send it to me, because we need to watch that.
He will get you the word so you can be saved.
This is the other one. We spend a lot of time on this, but let me just repeat it, and I want you to answer it as you would a student. How can we trust Scripture as morally authoritative when it regulates slavery, commands genocidal warfare like 1 Samuel 15, and enforces harsh penalties for non-crimes by modern standards without undermining the concept of God's moral perfection?
Yeah, because but whatever God decided was right. So it's, we just alter what rightness is to fit what God is.
I would ask the person again, by what moral standard are you saying that?
You're appealing to a Christian standard.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Secondly, we've already dealt with those.
Saying slavery is wrong. That's like so you're saying that slavery isn't wrong. Is in other words, because you're going, well, by what moral standard can you say slavery is wrong? And it's like, by the one that says that, I don't want to be owned and beaten. And I think that it's bad to beat people and own them as property because humans have fucking dignity. The same thing that you believe, dude. Yet and so he just plays this fucking verbal game of like, well, where do you get that standard? And where do you get that standard? And because he's basically trying to make it so that when you're in a one-on-one conversation with them, you got to go, well, it's my subjective interpretation of what, I think is right and wrong. But then he's like, oh, I got you, because I get my morality from the objective standard, which is the God that said beating your slaves is totes cool. It's so fucking insane.
Before on this program that slavery,
it's pronounced program. Okay. Get it right.
Was not the kind of slavery we had.
Kind of bankruptcy law.
Right. It was a kind of bankruptcy law.
The genocidal warfare.
It wasn't
Ember. What's going on, Ember? How you doing?
Genocide.
And Deviant Outcast. How you doing? What's going on? Where you been? You doing all right?
Was sinocide. Now, why do I say that?
What?
Because
I don't know
not
what
the kind of slavery.
I got it back. I didn't know what I missed it.
Slavery we had.
Kind of bankruptcy.
Deviant Outcast is distracting me.
Right. It was a kind of bankruptcy law.
God damn it, Kevin. I'm sorry. Wait. I mean, Deviant. No, fuck you, Kevin. Actually, it was Kevin's fault. Never mind. Sorry, Deviant. It wasn't you. It was Kevin.
Genocidal warfare.
It wasn't genocide. It was sinocide. Now, why do I?
Don't pronounce it like that, okay? You sound like a fucking weirdo. It wasn't genocide. It was sinocide. Shut the fuck up, okay?
I say that because God wiped out the Israelites for doing the same kind of things. In other words, it wasn't ethnicity God was worried about. It was the ethics.
Like after the gold.
What do you think is the problem with genocide, man? Like what do you? Oh my God! It's like he doesn't fucking get it. Like what? I don't care. I don't fucking care what the purpose of the killing the millions of people is. Okay, it's bad. Don't do that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Calf after the.
Sure, he wipes them out, right? How many times does God judge Israel for the evil they've done?
Repeatedly.
A lot.
So it doesn't count then. So killing thousands of people is perfectly fine because the fucking.
Yeah. And our mutual friend Dennis Prager puts it this way. He said, one of the reasons I know the Old Testament.
The least flattering telling of no, it's true. It's the least flattering telling of an ancient people.
Yeah, that's it. You know it. Yeah. They would never invent such an embarrassing history of themselves. They keep getting dope slapped by their own God. And Charlie, you don't see this.
Dope slaps? What the fuck is that?
Like if you go to Egypt, all of the monuments in Egypt.
It's so weird how often they're like, our story's too stupid. Nobody would make up something that's stupid and embarrassing. So it's got to be true.
Egypt are propaganda monuments to how good the Pharaoh is. They don't include any negative behavior. But when you read the Old Testament, this is the history of the Jews. They get the gold medal in sin every time.
Here's one that I think is important. Again, this one is, I can answer this one.
Answer it. Go ahead.
What the fuck does that mean? Like, you didn't answer the question, man. Like, the fact that there is like genocide and slavery in the Bible, and you just done everything you can to jingly keys your ass away from answering that problem. and you're just being like, oh, but he did it to the Israelites, so it doesn't count. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, if you do it to anybody, it still counts. It doesn't matter. It counts. It counts with that. If you do it with anybody, it's always bad. You're causing human suffering for like stupid fucking reasons.
Given the discrepancies between gospel resurrection accounts and the lack of external corroboration, how do you defend the resurrection as a historical event without begging the question? Well, first of all, the discrepancies are a feature.
Wait, what? You can't just speed over it. Like, at least put it on the screen, man. Hold on.
Discrepancies between gospel resurrection accounts and the lack of external corroboration. How do you defend the resurrection as a historical event without begging the question? Well, first of all, the discrepancies are a feature, not a bug. The fact that there are discrepancies means that it's probably true. Because if you were trying to lie, every single account would be exactly the same, right? It's
exactly
like
what the fuck? Oh my god, it's so weird when they do stuff like that. They're like, oh no, it's because they told such different stories, that means it's true. What? Why? It's a perfect God, man. Like, aren't we talking about a perfect God? So like, you're saying that your perfect God, like, told different people different things on purpose to make it sound more true? Are you fucking insane, man? And you're like, oh, if it was all exactly the same. They always do that. Oh, if it was all exactly the same, well, then you would say that it's made up or whatever. And it's like, okay, what are the normal standards for historical scholarship to take corroborating evidence and stories and things like that? Because the Gospels don't fit that. Doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? Like, we know for a fact that like historians will tell you, like, it doesn't play out like history. It doesn't sound even in the way that it's written and whatnot, like it's historical. It sounds like mythology. It's done. It's like it's written in ways that are like made to sound mythological. The other thing is that when you're looking at like the different gospels and stuff and why they don't line up and why they're like, it's like so vastly different in so many different ways, but like they'll be like entirely different narratives, and by that I mean like it's clear that the author is trying to use this to manipulate an audience to get them to think the stuff that the author wants them to think about Jesus. Like, for instance, like one of them, and I can't think of which book it is, but like Jesus is super Jewish, and he follows like the Jewish law like to a T, right? And then in other ones he's not. So it's just obvious that one was like, oh yeah, I think that he should be more like Jewish. And the other one, they're like, no, I think he should like be challenging some of the Jewish law or whatever. And then whatever. It's each one. It's like the author's whatever their intention is for the story. And that's become very clear throughout, through the scholarship and whatnot. Anyway,
this whenever there's, car accident or something in the
or a
parking
murder
lot here.
Yeah.
Or even like, something happens here and there's a little controversy at the Turning Point campus or an event. I bring 3 people in and I get a generalized telling, but I realize oh, okay.
Kip Davis, you're releasing a book? Really? Countdown to 3 hours. Oh my God. Yep. I got to get that book. All right. Well, let me know. Like, let's let me know where you're releasing it at. I'll put out some ads for you, man.
Got it. Was what mile power do you think they were going? What was this? What was the color of the car? Eventually you get towards that. So
to my 2,000 subscribers. So it's kind of huge for
I think it's a feature, not a bug. And then if there were a lot of external corroboration. I mean, there's Josephus, right?
Wasn't born until after Jesus had died.
Yes.
There's other Roman historians. Also, the Talmud
not any that were alive when Jesus was said to be alive.
Talks about Jesus, not the rest.
Wait, the what?
And then if there were a lot of external corroboration. I mean, there's Josephus, right?
Yes.
There's other Roman historians. Also, the Talmud talks about Jesus, not the resurrection, but they said that people believed in the resurrection.
Exactly.
So how did I do?
What did they skip out there? They're just like, well, not the resurrection. And it was like, let's cut all this. Just cut. It actually hurts our case about the whole Jesus thing. Let's move on. Let's move on. Cut that out, actually, and make a little white, crumbly wall come together and flash by real quick so that everybody knows that we took a big chunk out.
You did excellently.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else am I missing?
Beautiful. Well,
Did excellently.
let me give another example for our listeners and viewers. It might be this. Do you realize that the eyewitnesses of the Titanic, the survivors, disagreed on how the Titanic sank?
Well, I imagine because we actually didn't know how the Titanic sank for quite some time.
Right.
Because it happened largely below the surface.
What do you mean they disagreed about how the Titanic sank? What does that mean? What, you mean the fucking science behind it? Like what?
That's right. And some said it went down whole.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant, okay.
No. This is a good illustration
Yeah.
of what you're saying. Some said it went down whole. Others said it broke in two when it went down. What should we conclude from that, Charlie?
That, human memory is unreliable. And that's why you should trust the Bible even less.
Well, we should conclude that it did go down.
That's it. that's
And that the water was cold.
That's right. No, and
And the water was cold, man. Oh, God. God, Frank is so creepy. There's something just deeply. He looks like a ventriloquist dummy, like that grew into a human somehow. You know what I mean? And then somebody tried to like make him seem hip by giving him glasses that make him look even more weird.
everyone agrees there was a resurrection.
But they also all agreed that there were female witnesses
Mhm.
at the resurrection.
Very embarrassing.
No, embarrassing. And
So embarrassing to have female witnesses, but what the fuck?
by the way, multi-gospel.
That's right. Every gospel says it.
So, but then also the discrepancies play against a unigospel central canon.
They
What-
do.
What is the right term?
Well,
The term
What?
that there was a shared canon.
a Q document, they
yes,
will say.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Then they all.
Yeah. Well, obviously, what we're
Oh, okay. So survivors were they disagreed about whether the ship split in two before sinking. Okay. I mean, sure. I I don't really feel like I don't know, I just feel like that's so different than this is such a weird example to use. Because like we have examples of this with like 9/11 too. There's like those people that say like, oh, I remember right where I was at, and I remember looking at a thing and seeing the smoke come off of like the one part of the city or whatever when I was at school. And they like went back to retrace the step. They found out like the classroom that they were in didn't even face that direction. It made no sense. They didn't actually see that. They just, misremembered that because every time we remember shit, we're like piecing it together, piecing our memories together each time we're remembering it. And we usually piece it together based on the last time we remembered it. So if we get something like a small detail wrong the last time, it's almost like the game of telephone, and you just keep getting your details like worse and worse and worse, right? So yeah, I mean, but again, doesn't this hurt their credibility as far as like the gospels being true? Because like you're basically saying it's crazy. They'll sit there on one hand and say it's it's a firsthand accounts of eyewitness accounts of what happened, and then they're also like, but eyewitness accounts are unreliable, and they always say different things than what actually happened, and they disagree. So that's both why it's true, and then also the fact that it's eyewitness accounts is why it's true. It's so confusing. I'm trying to follow like why they think this stuff is true. And the truth is they think it's true because they've already decided it's true because it's their fucking faith. That's it. And now they're just making shit up after the fact to try to not sound like believing in the talking donkey story isn't, insane, right? Jesus.
finding in the New Testament, well, maybe not obvious for everybody, is that we have multiple independent sources of certain events.
What's up, Rainbow Ash? How we doing? So we also know how the earth formed and how old it is. That is true. Yep. So JT said all four gospels are different concerning the resurrection. How many Roman guards were outside the tomb? They're only mentioned in one gospel. And the other three, they weren't there. Yeah, and another one, like, and it's just like with the number of angels, right? Like, there's like one. What is it? It's like three different ones. It's different, right? it was like the angel, there was two angels in one, there was one angel in another one that was just a guy or something, and then another one they weren't mentioned at all. So which is it? You know what I mean? And keep in mind too, though, that this is supposed to be written by the all-powerful, perfect God that created the fucking universe. I feel like that matters a little bit, and yet we're like, we're having to base this stuff off of like, well, but memory is unreliable, so that makes it more true that Jesus actually did resurrect. It's fucking crazy.
And when you have that, you realize this isn't just one source. This is several sources. And there may be a problem for people who have a Bible under one binding. They go, oh, this is just one book. It's one source. No, it's not. These documents were written down in the New Testament, written down by 8 or 9 authors, depending upon who wrote Hebrews. And they were written at different times in different places by people who were not in contact with one another all the time.
So I don't think that, that's a pretty...
That's pretty good. So who broke the lamp? This Ebner said, who broke the lamp? Well, Mark says that John did. John says that Peter did. Peter says that Paul did. But they all say it was because of magic baseball hit it and evaporated. So that part must be true. That's so good.
Weak one. That's the best
Yeah.
AI
I
could
love it.
do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all didn't manage to answer any of the actual questions and just did your little fucking jingly keys nonsense and all they're just like little red herring type arguments and stuff. But cool. Good job, guys. Maybe, I guess I gotta believe in the undead carpenter ghost that lives inside your heart that you pretend to cannibalize. Not weird at all. So this is that Big Jon Steel guy, right? And he, I guess, is debating with somebody like saying that Mickey Mouse is more believable than Jesus. Okay, I don't know. I'm sure. Why not? I didn't, I've said there's more evidence for Mickey Mouse. Okay, I don't. Why would you bring Mickey Mouse into it? But
as a god.
Okay, show me the evidence for Mickey Mouse.
what? Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Why is it? Oh, there it goes. Dude, this guy, the way that he debates and everything, it just reminds me of like why debate doesn't actually work. All you got to do is sound super confident and just say bullshit. You could just say bullshit and sound confident when you're doing it. And then, you'll trick a bunch of people into thinking you're right because look how confident you are. You must be right because you said it like so much like you do think it's true.
All right, this conversation got way more intense than I expected. Starts off pretty chill. I asked the dude to convince me of his beliefs. Next thing you know, we're comparing Jesus to Mickey Mouse, talking about alien civilizations and animal sacrifice, logic, and somehow no one can explain what logic actually is. But here's the thing. I didn't make this video for the guy I was talking to. I made it for you. Because if you ever have someone say there's more evidence for Mickey Mouse than Jesus, and you weren't sure how to respond, this is for you. By the end of this video, we'll cover why historical evidence matters, what sacrifice actually meant in the first century, and how some arguments sound smart until you ask one simple question. So let's get into it.
Oh, it's a simple question. What is it? What?
All right, bro, convince me.
Where does logic come from? Is that people like him love to do that one. They're like, prove logic. Fucking what, man? What? See, gotcha. Nailed it.
The atheist, Muslim, or whatever you believe, win a taco.
So can I ask what your position is? What are you, Christian?
I'm Christian.
So this is just a very curious thing to find with religious people is the ability to believe in one religion and then be convinced that you're the one who's correct out of 7,000 religions, each with their own fantasies. So what makes you think
that's not an argument, right? Atheism is just another belief set as well. You just have the lack of a belief in a God. So you believe there is no God if you're atheist. So how do you know you're the right out of all the other belief sets? What are you?
I'll feel like, okay. So how do not believing in this stuff is equal to everybody believing in this stuff and saying they're right. That it's crazy when they can make it sound like that's co-equal with believing in the undead carpenter ghost that lives inside their heart that they pretend to cannibalize. But not believing in that is a worldview too. So how do you know you're right about the not undead carpenter ghosts magicking the universe from a voice?
Same shit, different pile.
No, not at all. I mean, goddamn. Because you could just say, I'm not convinced this stuff is true. And I just, and that's it. Like, you don't have to say that you're not trying to convince anybody that something is true. You're just like, I'm not convinced that your magical claims are true. Like, what the fuck?
No, it's not. You know what agnostic is?
Yeah, you don't know.
Which is the truth, because you don't know either. You can agree that
I do know.
No, you don't. Oh, I do know. As long as I act confident enough. Yeah. But I know. Yeah, I know a con man when I see him, man. And it's just acting like you're confident doesn't make it right. Jesus Christ.
You can agree that Christianity is a faith and it leads you to become a better person. For sure.
Oh, this guy. He got it's like, who the hell calls himself Big Jon Steel? This guy. This huge Steely John. Steely Dan was taken, so he went with Big Jon Steel.
But you can't tell me it's Christianity is actually from a God who sent his son down.
Why would I be a Christian if I didn't actually believe that?
Because there is more evidence for the existence of Mickey Mouse than Jesus Christ as a God.
Okay, show me the evidence for Mickey Mouse.
Well, there's actual visual evidence, unlike the Bible, which is made up of just basically old stories.
Yeah. There's like movies and stuff. Like one where he has a magical hat and the brooms all run around, and like get real big and stuff, because the magical hat did things. It's a whole thing.
It's cartoons.
That had zero.
How do you know the cartoons aren't real, huh?
I know the context of cartoons are something that somebody made up. So show me the evidence of Mickey Mouse.
Right, I can send you a link where you can actually see him. You can read about him.
I could see a cartoon of Mickey Mouse, and I know in the context cartoons are made up. I know the genre of cartoon, so I know it's a made up narrative.
So can we just do the same thing with mythology?
Show me the evidence that Mickey Mouse actually exists.
If aliens
and women made of women made of ribs, though, that's in the context. I could say that women being made of ribs, it's just mythology, but like we could just do the same thing back.
Came down.
What does aliens have to do with Mickey Mouse?
I'm saying if there's another entity that came down, I can convince them that Mickey Mouse is real.
Everybody stop. Lyric has arrived. Everybody good? We good in the back? You guys good? All right, we're good. Hey, Lyric.
Easier than I would have with Jesus Christ.
We're not aliens. We understand the context of human culture. Do you not understand the context of human culture?
Do you not understand the context of human culture? Fucking what, man? What was that? Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
We're not aliens. We understand.
Wait, what is the
with
alien
Mickey
thing?
Mouse?
I'm saying if there's another entity that came down, I can convince them that Mickey Mouse is real easier than I would have with Jesus Christ.
We're not aliens.
What?
We understand the context of human culture.
I'm so confused. What was that argument? I'm sorry. One more time, and I promise I won't go back again. I'm just gonna not understand something and continue on.
If there's another entity that came down, I can convince them that Mickey Mouse is real easier than I would have with Jesus Christ.
If there's another entity, okay. Oh, okay. I think he's saying, yeah. I think he's saying if somebody was completely removed from our like understanding of humanity or whatever, and like he came down, it'd be easier to convince the alien or this other entity that Mickey Mouse is a thing that actually exists rather than Jesus. I think. I don't feel like these are great arguments. I'm going to be honest. This dude's not not making me want to agree with him too much.
We're not aliens. We understand the context of human culture. Do you not understand the context of human culture?
But I mean, his arguments in return are not really solid either. So it's just kind of a lose-lose situation all the way around. It's a lose-lose-lose, as they would say at work.
Yes, of course you can convince anybody of anything that doesn't understand the context of the culture they live in.
You're clearly missing the
What?
point. My point is,
He's saying that there's no evidence for Jesus, man. That's what he's trying to say. It's like just a bunch of people thinking it, and that's it.
I get the point. You're saying that if people were completely ignorant towards the context of our culture, you can convince them of something.
Because the reason that people find Jesus compelling is because of its familiarity. Like the fact that there's some dude that that people believe in, that again, and this is why I always put this in the terms that I do and call him an undead carpenter ghost that sacrificed himself to himself in order to convince himself to save the world from himself. It's because it sounds fucking crazy when you just say what it actually is and remove that familiarity. You try to get it as far removed from the familiarity as possible, because the reason that we tend to think of it as something that's normal to believe is just because it's so readily it's so readily believed in our culture. But it's insane sounding, man, but like people are so familiar with it, and that makes it more true or whatever, or seemingly more true, but it's not. So he's trying to say, if you told somebody about an undead carpenter ghost that you pretend to cannibalize and act like that's a normal fucking thing to do and believe, that doesn't know anything about that, they're gonna go, what the fuck is wrong with you, and what is wrong with your God, and why is he so like obsessed with blood sacrifice and shit? What the hell's wrong with him? Like that's what I think he's saying here.
I can convince them that my toenails grow out of my forehead and then drop into my toes if they didn't understand the context.
Yeah, Tracy's like, you can actually go to Disneyland. And I mean, Mickey Mouse does not talk at Disneyland. He's probably got like an Ursula Spell voice situation going on, He probably was like, just imagine, Mickey Mouse's voice. And she puts it in a little shell, and then she keeps it around her neck.
Or human biology.
what I'm saying is that there's absolutely no evidence that your Jesus is actually God. I mean, why would God even do this?
You said there's more evidence for Mickey Mouse, and you provided no evidence for Mickey Mouse.
Let me just...
So do you concede that there is no evidence for Mickey Mouse existing?
There's certainly more evidence than Mickey Mouse existing than Jesus.
Then show me the evidence for Mickey Mouse existing.
Sure, go look up a video of Mickey Mouse. I mean, I don't know.
Dr. Gibbs said, does anyone actually think that there is nowhere near a similar amount of quality of evidence for Jesus as there is for Mickey Mouse? How is this even disputable, even among believers? Yeah, I mean, I said that poorly. I got it. I got what you're saying. I mean, we can Mickey Mouse, I wish it wasn't Mickey Mouse, honestly. Anything else. Maybe somebody that's a person, not a cartoon. I feel like the cartoonness of it kind of kills the whole point. But I mean, what are we trying to say, that there was a cartoon based on an actual mouse? Maybe there's some lore that Walt Disney, had one of those little cutouts in his wall, those little like tunnel, like the little mouse cutouts from the cartoons. He's got like one of those in the wall, and he talks to a mouse all the time. It was like, oh boy, all the time and stuff. And then he just started drawing the cartoons. This actually works. Maybe I can make this work. And that's where all the cartoons came from, was the actual talking mouse that was friends with the duck and the dog and the horse. What the fuck is Pluto? Anyway, doesn't matter. But all of that is true because of it being, the stories are just based off of the actual thing that actually happened to Walt Disney, who was clearly out of his fucking mind on cocaine and probably LSD, if we're going with this stuff. But maybe, he was on drugs and also did actually talk to talking animals. Who knows, right? Two things can be true at the same time. Just saying.
I already told you I understand the context of cartoons. Do you not understand the context of cartoons?
Just a quick
Do you need
question.
to go back to elementary school to understand what the context of cartoons is?
Looks like you want to get...
Yeah, I think he is Canadian, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I think so. Hold on. Let's hear him say it about a few times, and then we'll get it. I'll be able to tell you in a second here.
On this point purposely, so you can...
You brought up the point.
Right. It was just an example.
It's not a good example because there is no evidence for Mickey Mouse
Right.
actually existing, is there?
How did Jesus sacrifice
Hold
himself?
on. There is no actual evidence for Mickey Mouse
It's like,
existing.
no, I actually would like to continue talking about the evidence of a cartoon not being true, or real. I wonder why. I wonder why you want to harp on that one, buddy. Is that just the easiest thing to do at this point? Like, no, you said Mickey Mouse is real, as if like he's saying Mickey Mouse is real. And it's like, no, you got to make arguments as to, no, argue for Mickey Mouse being real then, okay? Do it, go. That's the same. That means if you can't argue that Mickey Mouse is real, Jesus is. That's how this goes, okay? That's how my argumentation works out. Jesus Christ.
You want me to what? Like,
Fucking
what do you,
idiot.
you obviously just want me to say something so you can be like, I won, and then you bring me down because
I already won, bro. I won before you even
scared of
started
the next
talking.
argument.
I'm not scared of the next argument, right? So the fact of the matter is, you said something completely out of your butt that you have no idea about. Quick sidebar before we go.
Out of your butt. Don't say butt when you're doing that. Just don't. Okay. You could say ass, you fucking weirdo.
Further, if you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I wish I had more conversations with some actual depth, then
Oh, is he really a fascist? I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever heard him say anything political at all. I just, because I don't watch him enough, but I usually just check the atheist versus theist debates that he does, and he's basically just an arrogant ass, or butt. I guess I should. He's an arrogant butt. God, it sounds like you sound like a lady, a church lady. That's what you sound like. You're an arrogant butt. You know that? You're a big bowl of butts. You are. Yeah, that's right.
check out the Patreon. That's where you're going to get exclusive content. And this is the cool part. You'll get access to my daily Bible study. Right now, we're walking through the Gospel of John line by line.
Hey, I'm sorry. Bree, how you doing? What's going on? It's good to see you. And Maya, what's up? Hell yeah. And Fortune Thought. Yeah, everybody's here now.
It's thoughtful, no fluff, and we keep it honest. No pretending we have all the answers, but we wrestle with the text like it actually matters.
You literally do act like you have all the fight. It's so weird that after like that arrogant fucking presentation he just gave of him, be like, I do know. I know that Jesus is God and everything. Like, and yet he's like, we don't pretend to have all the answers. Did you just hear yourself a second ago? You know, in the video that you posted, man, you do sound like you have all the fucking answers.
So if you want to go deeper, or you just want to support what I'm doing here.
And if you want to go deeper and not, and support what I'm doing here, yeah, go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word friendly at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word friendly. Go as deep as you want. They got the toys to do it. Just make sure it's a filleted base, because you don't want it to get lost up there. It's just, it's a bad day for everybody. And you got a lot of explaining to do at the hospital, and it's not fun. It's not fun, a lot of jokes flying your way. It's it's like I said, it's just not, you don't want it. You don't want it. Anyway, back to the fun. Here we go.
The link's in the description. All right.
The link's also in the description. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Also, if you want to hit the like button. Appreciate it. The link is actually in the description for what was I talking about? adamandeve.com. That's right.
Hey, let's get back to the chaos. Now, if you go into a university right now and speak to
the chaos
historian that teaches scholarship and you ask him, did Jesus Christ exist? What do you think he's going to say?
I never said he didn't exist.
Oh, but you said there's more evidence for Mickey Mouse than Jesus Christ existing.
And Jesus Christ as a God. You can't
as
tell
a
me
God?
that. Yes.
Okay,
so God, this person's that I feel like they didn't really make that clear, but I don't know if either one of them are making anything clear at this point. It doesn't matter. This is such a bottom of the fucking barrel debate. It's unbelievable.
So hold on. Okay, fine. Let's dive into that. So Mickey Mouse is a God. So Jesus Christ is a God. There's more evidence. There's no evidence for Jesus Christ being a God, but there's Jesus.
You sound experienced, Bradley. I am. I heard. Well, I mean, a friend of mine has had that experience, and he told me the whole thing and exactly how it felt, so that I could convey all of that stuff.
Jesus Christ existing. Doesn't the same evidence that says Jesus Christ exists is the same evidence that says he's a God?
No.
No?
What?
Well, how do you know he exists?
What?
Well, truthfully, we don't. We just have evidence of somebody.
Well, you
like
just
him
said he
existing.
existed. So how do you know?
Yeah. Well, the theory is he doesn't. I think he was a person, but he wasn't a god.
It's not.
I think
It's not a
people just-
theory.
Oh yeah, and yeah, everybody should check out Live from the Hive on Bree's channel, Hive Side, every Saturday. What time does it start, Bree? Like what time? What time in the morning does it start? I always catch it, but it's I don't feel like I've ever caught it from the beginning. But yeah, it's every Saturday though, and it's a blast.
It's not a theory. So John Dominic Crossan, who's an historian, says one of the most assured things that we know in history is that Jesus Christ was crucified. So it's not a theory.
Again.
So how do you know?
One of the most like, come on, let me guess, was this historian also a Christian? Yeah, it's kind of hard to take somebody seriously when they, as far as like their doctorate or their scholarship or whatever, when they're so biased toward what they'd like to think is true.
How do you know he existed?
I believe he may have existed. What I'm saying is,
Okay, so how do you know he existed? I'm not asking what you believe. I'm asking you how you figured out he existed.
Yeah, I mean, historians, stories, previous
Historians,
evidence,
stories, previous evidence. How did you specifically know?
Well, because 1.4 billion people follow him. So I mean,
Because
obviously,
so just because the majority of people believe it, it's true. So 1.4 billion people believe that he's God. So therefore, he's God. So therefore,
Do you
there's just
believe it? Tell me
if
how you
that's
believe
enough.
it.
Hold on, I'm missing. What the fuck? Dude, this is so sad.
I mean, historians, stories, previous
Historians,
evidence,
stories, previous evidence. How did you specifically know?
What was the?
Well,
Okay.
because 1.
How do you know what? Like he's not arguing for knowing something. You're the one who claims to know stuff, dude. He just said he wasn't. He's literally agnostic. How you like prove not knowing? Prove the not knowing shit. What the fuck? What is wrong? What is wrong with you?
4 billion people follow him. So I mean,
Okay, so just because the majority of people believe it, it's true. So 1.4 billion people believe that he's God. So therefore, he's God. So therefore, there's just if that's enough. If that's enough evidence to convince you that he
this is so stupid. Like this is the dumbest fucking. It's like he's not even. It's like he's not even listening to the guy. He's just like talking over him, and just like, and the guy's not doing that great either.
it should be enough.
Totally honest. I think it's the overconfidence, man. It's like as long as you do the con man thing, you throw people off. They're like, I've never heard somebody. It's almost like when you try to debate a flat earther and they just pretend to know all the stuff that they don't actually know about the fucking firmament and the pole access, why fucking whatever, all that shit, and they just act super confident about it, and you're just like, but that's not true though. And they're like, oh yeah, well, proof that it's not true.
Evidence to convince you he's God because it's the same standard.
Really, that's the same thing to you.
That's not the same thing to me. That's your standard. You said you believe Jesus Christ existed because 1.4 billion people believed it.
No, I'm saying
1.4 billion people believes he's God. So your standard, he's God.
He keeps like, no, that's not what it said. And he's like, this is what you said, your standard. Yeah. It's just, God, this is like the lowest brow debate ever.
Sir, you should be at a high level of intellect in this. I mean,
I am honestly, bro, I'm so far past you.
Bro, I am so much more smarter than like everything about you, bro.
You don't even understand what's being said.
You don't even understand how super smart I am because of how smart I am.
Yeah, okay, but
I'm like an ultra super intelligence that you don't even know, bro.
I'm saying again, so let me ask you a question. How did Jesus
He's like having trouble not laughing because who the fuck says stuff like that, man? What the fuck? This is why I don't want to hang out with Christians. Right there, like just that arrogance and that level of just, I am so much smarter than you. Who the fuck says that? Oh my God, it reminds me of damn. And of course now I can't think of the show, but we were watching some show about damn it, what was it? It was like scientists or something, and they were like, I think it's the new Alien show, right? Was that it? Yeah. I think it's like this new show called like Alien Earth. And there's this guy that's like, everybody's saying that we like, scientists, us geniuses or whatever, like make stuff for the money. And we do it for the money. I don't make it for the money. I just want to create a superior intellectual being so that I actually talk to somebody who's actually at my level or above, or somebody that's smarter than me, because like nobody is at all. And so that's why I was doing the whole thing. And it's like, oh my god, that's like Big Jon Steel, but like in the alien universe.
Advice himself if you just went back
Notice
to
notice the red herring, ladies and gentlemen. He can't actually address
Notice
the
how he
topic or
can't
the
answer this
subject
one.
or the rhetoric. So he just did a red herring, and I did an argument adjacent. Do you know what a red herring is?
Oh my god, he's such a he's such a belligerent asshole. What the fuck was he? This is what I'm saying. Like, and he just says this stuff. He just says like argument adjacent stuff, but it's like not tied to anything because he's just talking over the guy the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I'm saying again, so let me ask you a question. How did Jesus sacrifice himself if you just went back
notice the red herring, ladies and gentlemen. He can't actually address the topic or the subject or the rhetoric. So he just did a red herring, and
it's literally Jesus does sacrifice himself to himself, man, and it is kind of an insane thing that he thinks, and he's like, that's a red herring because you used the words to describe my beliefs that I don't like, even though they perfectly describe my beliefs.
I did an argument adjacent. Do you know what a red herring is?
Do you know when I say something and you
can't answer that question. So
and he just talks over. So you can't even do it. Yeah, no, you don't be that. I'm not. It's like ask a question and then talks over.
You can't answer any question at all, and you want to gish gallop all over the place to eventually take it to.
He knows what a gish gallop. Where the fuck was there a gish gallop at all this entire time? It's like you have to be able to say multiple like lies or whatever that you would then have to try to debunk. That none of that happened at all. Big Jon Steel just knows some of the words. That's it. He knows like some argumentation words, and then just Deepak Chopra's his way like through like how he does through like fucking quantum physics words about magic, you know.
You say I don't know it, and you say you got me. All right, what's the next gish gallop, my friend? I'll school you on that as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, well,
Jesus.
How does Jesus?
What the fuck? Like, does anybody? Like, what? I thought like being humble was something Christians are supposed to be. When did they become like this? Like, what is this? So fucking weird. He's such an arrogant prick. This is exactly what's wrong with Christians. Is they just pretend to know everything, and then just talk down to everybody like they know everything better. And conservatives, for that matter. Now that I think about it. Since that's what conservatives do, like, I know what everybody should do in their life better than what everybody does. Everybody who is that they're. I know better than everybody how they should live their lives and the choices they should have made, even with the circumstances that they had that I don't understand because I never had those circumstances. But I judge the people for making the choices that they did because of the circumstances that they have, even though I don't know what it's like to have the circumstances that they have. Yeah.
Like we say that he sacrificed himself, right? So how did he sacrifice himself if he just went back to being God? I mean, what kind of a sacrifice is that, right?
That's not what sacrifice means.
What?
How did the Jews pay for their sins for hundreds of years before Jesus?
By murdering animals. Yeah, not helping your case, man. She's like that, and that's totally normal. And what good people do, killing animals. What is wrong with your God, dude? Why does he need people to kill shit so much?
Come on. Go on.
You said I don't have the intellect to answer the question. How did the Jews?
He wants them to say killing animals or whatever, sacrificing animals. And like, exactly. And that's totally what you got to do to get rid of the sin stuff.
Sacrifice for hundreds of years before Jesus.
You're going to answer my question with a question?
It's a simple question, right? It's just basically helping you think, right? So how did they do it?
Oh my God.
You're supposed to know about this. Come on.
Well, you say, hey, you're flexing your intellect. So I just want to see how much you actually know.
It's a very simple thing I said. I don't know if you're having trouble with it.
I answered your question.
He's just trying to mirror. He's trying to mirror his arrogance back at him. It seems because clearly it works. All you got to do is pretend like you are winning the debate, and then I guess you're winning the debate.
Now I'm explaining it. I told you the answer. I told you the answer. The answer is that's not what sacrifice means. Doesn't mean Jesus gave up something for us, and therefore.
Really? That's not what sacrifice means. It doesn't mean that Jesus gave something up. Those animals gave up their fucking lives so that those Israelites could, not go to hell right then, even though hell wasn't a concept. I don't understand it. Anyway,
That's not what it means. How did Jews pay for their sins before Jesus?
You tell me.
Come on, Linda. You don't know.
You want me to clap for you? Can
You
go
don't
on.
know.
How did the Jews pay for this sin?
Through sacrifice. What did they sacrifice? Come on, Linda.
what is the
Go on, I'm waiting.
It's,
Oh, they
what do you think they sacrificed? Come on. Put two brain cells together, make them work.
It's a lot of THC. Oh man, I don't. I don't like that. At some sort of challenge, I would fail that challenge. I would just sit there staring at the wall and feeling very self-conscious about it, and I would feel like the wall was probably judging me.
Think of something. What do you got?
That's why I don't smoke that often, to be honest.
I asked you a question. I don't know why you're throwing it back.
Come on, bro.
Come on,
Jesus Christ.
bro.
Animals. They sacrificed animals.
Yeah, and you're gonna say that like it's not stupid and crazy, man. I love how the familiarity makes them think that what they're saying is not fucking insane.
So they sacrificed boars and they sacrificed sheep and they sacrificed bulls.
Why? Why? What is wrong with your God? What the fuck did the bulls do? And then you don't even get to eat them? What the fuck?
This is how they paid for their sins.
Blood magic. Yeah, blood magic. Totally not insane.
Jesus is the final sacrifice. Do you ever wonder why we don't do
So
it?
funny. They talk down to him like it's so. He's like trying to act like this is so not stupid. And he's like, they had to kill animals and burn the carcass because the God likes the burning carcasses of animals. And Jesus is just the next burning carcass. That's how you get forgiven for the stuff that God doesn't like that you do and everything. You gotta sacrifice. What the fuck, man? You sound crazy.
Animal sacrifice anymore? Because
We
Jesus is the
actually do.
final
We do.
sacrifice.
We actually do.
So
There's
we don't.
thousands
That's
of people
insane.
that do. Yes, there are. There's literally cultures where that's still a very common thing.
We Christians, not
It took
every
Jesus
other
for you to
culture.
fucking realize that you don't need to kill animals, sacrifice them. Really?
Not realize that.
It's so funny. Yeah, now the guy's like, really? Killing animals? That's cool to you? That's a normal thing?
Bro.
Is that a God's purpose? Is to do that? What kind of
So you got schooled on every subject.
Hard atheist is at 60. Somebody screenshot this for me. I can't do it from where I'm at. Hard atheist is 69. Oh, and if you want to be a hard atheist, do it at 69%. Go to adamandeve.com. Hold on, where's the comment? I'm going to pull it up. There we go. Thank you, Giselle. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley, and you can 69 what did I say? A hard atheist. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley. Get your butt some stuff. Get your butt 69. Okay. Well, I guess it would probably be a different number if it was. Anyway, you know what I mean. It's like a backwards 69. What is that just 99? I don't know. Anyway.
You brought up so far. And now you're panicking.
No.
Now you're panicking. Now you're panicking. Now you're panicking and jumping to like an emotional moral argument. Oh, you needed God to figure out.
On behalf of Canada, I apologize for this tool. But honestly, you guys had it coming. Yeah, we can't really say much. It's, we're in America. It's just, yeah. I mean, we just apologize for America. I don't even know what else. Just all of us, just on behalf of us being a place with humans in it that exists. Sorry. We suck. I don't know. Hey, Wolfos, what's going on, dude? Doing all right? Sorry, Dingleberry. Sin isn't a real thing. The murder torture point doesn't make it real. Exactly. Jesus. Also humans. They also sacrificed. They also sacrificed humans. Wait, who did? What? Oh, the Sumerians. The Sumerians still sacrificed. Jesus. Wow. I did not realize that. I don't know much about. I haven't been to Samaria in well, since never. I've never been there.
You didn't need to sacrifice. We didn't need to sacrifice animals.
It's just logical, brother.
Okay, give me the 3 laws of logic if it's logical.
Say the 3 laws of logic. Do it. Say the 3 laws. What are the Aristotelian 3 laws of thought? Huh? Say that. What are the three Aristotelian 3 laws of thought? Say it. If you don't know them, then you're stupid. It is normal to kill animals. Yeah. Say what is 349 times 72,000? Yeah. Because you're stupid. You're stupid. Okay. And sacrificing animals is super fucking normal, you idiot. God, you suck.
Go ahead.
It's just
the Israelites sacrifice humans? Wait, in the Bible? I do not remember this. When did that? I know God did, right? A lot. He sacrificed people or just killed them. But I didn't I don't remember that part. When did they sacrifice you? Well, I mean, there was the Abraham and Isaac thing, right? That one, but he did, but God was trolling him at the last second. But it's absolutely, we want to talk about it this weekend. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it. I'm down for it. Let's talk about it.
logic, brother.
What's logic? Give me the definition of logic.
You're angry right now because I just
give me the definition of logic, my friend.
Give me the definition of logic. He's like, it's so logical to sacrifice animals. Like, what's the definition of logic? What's the definition of logic? Say it.
Christianity is a faith. It's not.
So you don't have the definition of logic?
Oh my God. But that's not a red herring at all or anything.
You're going to run away soon. I'm just waiting for it.
This guy
no one's running away. I'm asking for the definition of logic.
Fucking cloud.
Go look it up. Well, you want me to explain?
You said it's just logical. Yeah. I want you to tell me what logic is.
This is a really bad way of tackling arguments.
Dude, this is actually really sad, man. Wow. Like this, it's funny because at first I was like, this isn't going good for the atheist or either one of them. Like they both just sounded like idiots, to be totally honest. But now when he's like, it's so logical to sacrifice animals, and he's like, could hear how stupid that's, like the sacrificing animals like line of argumentation. Then he has to switch to name the 3 laws of logic. What if he had done it? What if he was just like identity, non-contradiction, excluded metal? What? There's also a 4th one that's about comparing with them. And it's kind of confusing, and it's not very it's not agreed upon across the board. So we don't talk about the 4th law of logic, okay? Around here. We have a rule against that. Right, Ember? Ember said yes, she did. I swear.
If you actually want to convert people, this is a really bad way, by the way.
I'm not trying to convert you. This conversation isn't for you.
He didn't say that. He said if you're trying to convert people, man, other people watching it. And I agree with him like a lot because he sounds really petty and sad and arrogant and just like an asshole, straight up.
This conversation is for everybody listening to realize how stupid atheism looks.
If you want to do good, answer people's questions and
answer my question. What is logic?
You can't reply with you can't.
You didn't ask me a question. You said it's simple logic that you can't do those things, and I asked you what.
He asked, "Is it logical to sacrifice animals in order to have to forgive?" And he said, "What are the 3 laws of logic?"
It's logic.
No,
that's not a question.
My point.
You didn't make a point. You made a statement.
How did Jesus sacrifice himself for our sins? If he just went back to being a god, I mean,
that's not what sacrifice means. You just misunderstand what sacrifice means.
Well, explain sacrifice. You haven't explained anything.
I already explained that.
You're countering with questions, brother.
I already explained that. There was animal sacrifice before, and Jesus is the sacrifice now. So we use Jesus as the final payment for our sins.
Huh.
But how is he a payment if he just went back to being God? Jesus is still alive.
Said, read Exodus 22 to 28 to 29, and also Ezekiel 21 through 26. I'm definitely going to check that out. because I did not realize the human sacrifice portion of. I mean, I knew they did some fucked up stuff in the Old Testament. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think they went as far as sacrificing humans. They weren't virgins, were they? Did they do the virgin into the? They like rip their heart out and then drop them into a fire pit? No, I don't know.
Not the point. It's not the point of giving up something. It's the point that he is the payment for our sacrifices. We use him to pay for our sin.
And look how look how unsure of himself he seems now. Because he's like, yeah, this sounds stupid. I know because you hear it all the time. Sounds so it's normal. It's not, dude. And neither is pretending to eat him.
In what sense is that?
Any sin you want, except for the sin of rejecting the Holy Spirit.
So everything else is fine. You can go attack somebody, all good. Jesus paid for it.
Notice how you never actually address the question of logic, and you're still just gish galloping. Do you know what gish galloping is? Probably not. You haven't answered to any definition I've asked so far.
How is he gish gallop? Like, that's not what? Like, do you know what gish galloping is? Because I don't feel like he's done it once, man. Like, changing the subject is like not necessarily gish galloping, dude.
I'm not a dictionary. You can go look it up.
Okay.
Bro,
All right, man.
It's a
Mr. Atheist over here. Dude, can you just know some stuff? Just know just a couple things for me, man. Don't call in shows and you don't.
very dumb way of arguing what you're doing.
A dumb way of arguing is asking clarifying questions. I will let all the
That's
professional.
not a clarifying question, man. Come on. You're trying to like get him to like go, I don't know what that means. You go, haha, so I win, because he doesn't know all the definitions of words that are not really relevant because they're not even doing a fucking gish gallop. Gish gallop's where you quickly state a whole bunch of lies and then expect the other person to have to debunk each of the lies. And of course, debunking lies takes way longer than it does to just say a lie. And so they never get to all of them. And so it sounds like the person that just said a bunch of lies is right. That's a gish gallop. That's not what the fuck is happening here, man. God damn, you're stupid.
Debaters know that they should never ask a clarifying question again. Any other professional advice?
You haven't answered anything, so I can't really, there's no way.
You haven't answered a single question either, my friend.
What?
You're asking.
Dude, I see. Ember said, wait, oh, damn, really? They sacrifice humans left and right in the Old Testament. Really? I see. I didn't read the Old Testament a lot. I'm going to be honest. And if I did, I probably mentally blocked that out. Now think about it. Because there were so many times when I would go back and read stuff, and it's stuff that I know that I'd read, and then been like, I don't remember it like this. I don't remember this part being this way. But I think, like I said, I think my mind literally put up blockades around the accepting what the words on the page actually said. It's probably symbolic. Yeah, no, that's a metaphorical human sacrifice right there. Yeah, moving on. Yeah, I'm not going to think about that. Let's just keep going. That was probably more where my mind was at. But damn, I do not remember the human sacrifice part. Well, wait. No, because that wouldn't be a sacrifice. Would it? I remember Achan and stuff like that. Was that the Old Testament or is that the New Testament? Because he took plunder or whatever, right? He took some plunder, and then his whole family was murdered or whatever for because he took some stuff that I guess he wasn't supposed to. They were leave all the gold and everything there. Just you're not allowed to have it. Because I think God was just trying to fuck with them again, because that's what he does. He's just tempting them to do the thing that he knows he doesn't want them to do, just so he can make an example out of them, because their God's completely insane. But would that count as a human sacrifice?
Asking you for definitions.
I'm asking for the definition of logic. You said it's illogical. What is your definition of logic?
Oh my
There's multiple
God.
definitions for logic.
Give me one.
Well, when I think of logic, I think of something that makes sense.
Think of something that makes sense. What does
Right.
that
What
mean?
is it? The definition of logic. I mean, I guess I say just consistency, right? Mathematical consistency within claims, and their truth value, or them being tied to what is? Hold on, I'm gonna fucking definition. Reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validity. What about soundness? Does soundness not have anything to do with logic? It's just the validity? I thought the whole thing was that it has to be a valid and sound argument, and that would make it the most logical. And then the soundness is what ties it to reality, because that's where it's based on evidence. But reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validity. Okay, I'm not going to remember that. Better never get in a debate with this guy.
Like a god making himself in human form, killing himself.
You got to remember all the definitions if you debate Big Jon Steel. Otherwise, an undead carpenter ghost lives inside of him that he pretends to cannibalize, and it's not weird.
Saying sacrifice for people, Gregory went back to being a god. That's not logical to me. It's like, why would a god
it makes sense? It makes sense to me. So why is your making sense and my making?
The slaughter of the Canaanites. Oh, really? So the slaughter of the Canaanites was described as human sacrifice. Really, I did not know that. I thought I thought it was like a conquest. I didn't. Like a war. But they were like, well, they were just doing a colonial thing, right? Just sort of killing everybody and then making them be like them and taking their stuff, right? That's what I thought. Anyway, that's so interesting. I had no idea about that. Fascinating.
Making sense different.
What?
Well, fair enough, but
What?
That's not logical to me. It's like, why would a god and
It makes sense. It makes sense to me. So why is your making sense and my making sense different?
Oh my God. But it makes sense to me. Do you know what the definition of logic is? Wait, why is this? Why are there? Is anybody else seeing that? That looks like some swastikas, right? What the fuck? It's weird. Jesus never had a wife. Sus. I don't know what's going on.
Well, fair enough, but you're looking at it from your narrow perspective. I'm looking at it.
How
It makes sense though that this guy would attract some Nazis, if you know what I mean.
do you know that? How do you know you don't have a narrow perspective?
Oh, very well. I think we all have narrow perspectives, but
Okay, so then
What the fuck? How is somebody that's agnostic have a narrow? Oh my God! Define narrow perspective. Fucking Jesus Christ! This is so stupid.
how is your perspective better than mine? If it's simply what makes sense to you and what makes sense to me,
Because, look,
how do we defer? Which one is better?
I was born religious,
Jesus.
and I accept religion. However,
I was born
aware-
atheist.
Well,
Great.
what the
good
fuck?
for you. But I'm aware.
I didn't become Christian
that-
until I was 30. So what's your point?
I'm aware that it may not be real.
Okay.
That's all it is.
You're aware what might not be real. What?
Why don't we see miracles today? Like it is.
We
just
do
so
see
many people
miracles
are like,
today.
What?
Where's the miracle?
Where?
They're all over the place. Everybody just says that it's
Just
made
all
up
over
or
the place.
people are lying every time it happens.
Oh, so you just believe every claim. Boy, you certainly are logical, aren't you?
Like, can you name
Jesus.
one?
I saw a guy's leg. So there was a guy that had like his leg shorter than the other, and right there on camera, in front of a camera. That's right. His leg evened right back out. It was crazy. Right there on the camera. Perfect miracle example, And that we see that one a lot, actually. God loves healing the one short leg shorter than the other thing. I don't know why he does that one so much.
Yeah, Bruce Van Natta having his intestines grow back. Marlene Cleaps being able to get up out of her bed after being bedridden and sentenced to death after like 20 years of being in the fetal position. After being prayed over.
Yeah, you see that? Kip's, he's like, it's got a fucking swastika about the, what the fuck? I mean, it looks like it's like the backwards kind. I mean, unless it's it's like their way, I think, of getting around it because it's like a Hindu symbol, if I'm not mistaken. And so just like the backward, it's like facing a different direction, like has like slightly different, very, very slightly different curves. But yeah, that's what it is. And that's, of course, the Nazis, the nationalist Christians, Nazis like to post stuff like that. It's crazy.
Those would be two examples. The pastor, I forget his name, who told his voice would never be able to speak again, started giving a sermon, and then all of a sudden he could speak again while giving a sermon about being okay with this, the consequences God puts on you sometimes. So those are three.
Oh, who said that? Ember, what was it said? If you allow Nazis at your bar, you have a Nazi bar. What? I know that I remember hearing that the other day, and I was like, that is phenomenal. If you allow them at your bar, that's the kind of bar you got. Because you shouldn't allow them at your bar. What the fuck?
For you. Santos came in with 999, says, what sucks is that people around him may look up to him and he is this dense. He wants to judge a belief he knows nothing about. This is the Billy Carson train of thought. Say whatever, hoping it sticks. If you stuck around this long.
Carlo, what? Hold on. Drusilla said, can we check out Carlo Acutis? What? Acutis. He's getting sainthood now. What? I don't not sure if it's interesting. I don't know who that is. What's it? Well, look at all the unconfirmed anecdotes that have all been disproven or are completely unverified. Yeah, I mean, which is, God, that's sad, dude. This dude, and it's so funny that he's sitting there saying, like, oh, define logic, and then he'll literally just believe any claim of a magic as long as it happens to align with the magic that, you know, he believes in. God damn, it's crazy that somebody can be this arrogant and this stupid all at the same fucking time.
You're exactly the type of person I want to hear from. What do you think? Was the logic solid? Did either side really land a punch? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes
you definitely didn't. I mean, I think he was actually trying to have somewhat of a fucking conversation. I know that he threw you for a loop at the beginning when he basically said the Mickey Mouse thing, which, you know, came off like he wasn't trying to actually have a conversation. But like for the rest of it, it seemed like he actually was saying things he actually thought. And this guy, this Jon Steel dude, was just arrogantly just talking down to him like he's a piece of shit. And then it's like, so I win. And that's like seems to be his whole bag. You know what I mean?
I read those, even when you're mean to me. And hey, if this back and forth got you thinking and you want to see more, I tested.
I think everyone failed because everyone sucks.
Did 5 Islamic miracles.
Hey, what's up, Brent? How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Doing all right?
See if they actually hold up. Click over and I'll see you there.
What the fuck was that? Why are you licking your lips like that, man? It's freaking me out. That's gross, dude. That's gross. I have like I'm permanently flaccid now due to your lip smacking. Now what I'm gonna do with the products from adamandeve.com. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word friendly, go check out to get 50% off any one item, 6 free movies. I could do my own segues. Okay. I could segue from stuff I say too. God damn it. All right. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. It's my show. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word friendly, and check out. Get your butt some stuff and stuff your butt. Okay.
Five Islamic.
Hold on, we got to hear that again. No, y'all have to be as permanently flaccid as I have to be now.
Miracles to see if they actually hold up. Click over and I'll see you there.
Unbelievably unattractive. Wow. That sounded, it's literally broken now. You broke me. All right, y'all. Let me see what else we got. Oh. Okay, this one. God, I don't know why I don't watch these. I'm worried. Do I not watch these because I always get in trouble? I always get a copy. I don't know. But this was one of the funniest things I've heard in a while. This is some fucking 174,000 views in like a day. This redacted show. It's Conspiracy City. Check this out. Watch.
In the 1950s. Intention of Trump Well, our next guest says that everyone is missing the true intention of Trump locking down Washington, D.C., trying to federalize the police force there and take things over, trying to eradicate crime. He says, pay attention to Trump's words.
So that dried me up.
In yesterday's press release.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounded like down there.
Press release, Trump said, quote, I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back, end quote.
Fascist says what?
Dr. Michael Sala says everyone is missing the real story here. There is a hidden intent in his press briefing.
Oh, look at that. there's a pentagram, that's off cocked to the side. Why didn't you draw it down here? You could have drawn it. What about over here? There's a triangle there. You could probably get one from over. Like, we could have Pentagram City over here, dude. Like, you could just find one just about at any of these junctions if you look hard enough.
Separate Washington, D.C. from the satanic forces that have run D.C. since its establishment.
Since Washington, D.C.'s establishment, it was the satanic people just establishing it.
And Dr. Sala says it all has to do with the Freemasons.
Of course. Yeah, the Freemasons. That was going to be the next thing that I thought he was going to say.
That built Washington, D.C. and were infiltrated by dark forces. So
satanic dark forces.
Help educate us on this topic.
Don't say educate. Come on. Like, there's actual educators that exist in the world, and that's just really offensive to all of them. Just a slap in the face.
And dive deep on this. So many people have been asking. Bring up the Masons on a regular basis in our comments feed.
You don't say.
Dr. Michael Sala. Michael, it's great to see you again. We haven't seen you in quite a while. Well,
this lady is just not having. I don't know what it is, but she is not having it. Okay. I don't know if it smells bad there. Probably smells bad. There's something. There's a dead, rotting squirrel carcass from when RFK Jr. was on or something.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Great to be back.
So can you explain, as we look at this unfinished pentagram here on the show, on this map, can you explain to me, like, first,
and it's unfinished too, because like there's that, they didn't want to make it too easy. The Masons wanted to kind of trick. They're like, maybe we shouldn't put that last line in there. That would really throw everybody, then we can have the pentagram and eat it too. It didn't make sense. But I mean, because you don't eat pentagram, I guess, unless we made a pentagram cake. I'm sure you could actually make a pentagram cake. They probably have those at Satanic Temple parties or something, maybe.
Well, what are we looking at here, and why do you think that this is a deeper move by President Trump to stop?
Where did the pentagram go? Like, now it just looks like a Star Trek city. It's like, I mean, what the fuck?
These demonic forces in Washington, D.C.
Well, look at that one. That's a pentagram. No, it's not. Nope. It's just shapes. So stupid.
Well, that dates back to the design of Washington, D.C. by a French architect, Pierre L'Enfant, who was a Freemason.
Oh.
And the Freemasons understood the power of symbols, occult symbols, such as the pentagram, which is a way of being able to create a power vortex.
A power vortex. That's it. You got, you make the vortexes with the symbols, and you know what the vortexes do? Nothing, really, at all.
For various ceremonies. And so as far as the Freemasons associated with George Washington and...
I've done some masonry work for free. Does that make... No. Okay. We're talking about actual stuff around here. Okay. Are you a dork that just wants to get better business content? That's all the Masons are, dude. They're just dorks that want to ritualistically help each other with their advertising or whatever.
Thomas Jefferson were concerned. They thought that this Freemason symbol would kind of like help establish or promote their idea of the new Atlantis, that America was the new Atlantis. It would be a place of high technology, abundance, and show the way for the rest of the planet. But what happened was that the Freemasons were infiltrated at the higher levels, and this is something that I've been able to confirm, that Freemasonry today at the 33-degree level, those that...
That's the highest level, 33.
Achieve that rank typically have very positive views about Freemasonry and helping establish...
the people that are on the 33rd level of Masons, they typically have a positive view of Masons. Yeah, I get that.
Their goals, their positive goals. But at that level, 33rd degree, they are introduced to the deeper, darker mysteries, and they swear allegiance to these satanic forces.
Oh yeah, they secret. Once you got to get all 33 levels, and then once you get to that 33rd level, you're like, oh man, after everything you've been through, you're like, okay, so bad news, we're Satanists. Sorry, I know you did a lot, you paid a lot of money, you did a lot of stupid rituals to get here, but you got to worship Satan now. And that doesn't deter anybody or make anybody go, you know what, I'm gonna go tell everybody. I'm gonna go like take a video camera into a lodge and show everybody all the satanic shit.
And these satanic forces are connected to extraterrestrial life that many Freemasons at that higher level believe.
You're just showing the same fucking picture. Yeah, we got it. Okay, it's a pyramid with the eye and there's yeah, get it. Scary. Oh, scary.
Who it was that established the ruling bloodline.
Well, they figured it out. Like, okay, we're just kind of showing the same pictures. And now, man, can you just, put it back on?
Families going all the way back to Sumeria, Babylon, and so forth. And so these ruling.
Oh, what do you do? So back to the Sumerians. Hey, we were just talking about the Sumerians. That's crazy.
Bloodline families, they believe that they are the direct descendants of the gods or the Anunnaki, the fallen angels, whatever you want to call them.
Oh, they're the the sons, or they're the descendants of the rock monsters from the Noah movie.
And that those who are worthy of the truth will be initiated into those truths. So that's how they establish secret society.
What? They'll be initiated into those truths? What the fuck? What? How? That's not the way the words work.
But it is something that is segregated from the most practitioners of Freemasonry who know nothing about this up until the 33-degree level. And if they progress beyond that, then they're initiated into the kind of satanic practice.
The satanic levels that go up to 66 in 6 quarters levels. Just fucking shit.
That what enables a lot of these ruling bloodline families to get their power.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. My bad. Dr. Gibbs, like, no, he's talking about the Sumerians. I mentioned the Samaritans. Wait, these are not. Oh, okay. That's so funny.
And to control the rest of the world.
But were the Sumerians Masons? That's the real question here. And were they actually part of that? Is that a
a lot of people.
Dr. Kirk's gonna be like, actually, yeah, the Masons were, and they were from Samaria. Actually, is where it came from. I'm like, shit. Okay, god damn it, Kip. Now I have to.
On our chat room are saying you're spot on about this.
This is embarrassing.
And there's some really deep, dark forces here with this.
And if you want something forced deep inside your dark hole, go to AdamandEve.com. That was fucking phenomenal. Holy shit. Go to AdamandEve.com. Enter code word Brentley. That's it. Just enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to AdamandEve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout. Okay. That was just too good of a segue to just blow past,
So, and a lot of people in our chat room saying that this even goes much higher than sort of like the levels that we know about in Freemasonry.
Oh, really? The chat people are saying it, so it's got to be true.
There's like a whole other section of levels inside of this. Maybe
there's like, there's infinite levels within each level.
Could talk a little bit about that. A number of people in our chat room are saying that.
Why do you keep talking about the people in the chat room, dude? Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, well, those that progress beyond the 33-degree level, they are initiated into all of these occult programs.
The occult programs. I knew it. It's, it's like
dealing with extraterrestrial technology.
The extraterrestrial technology of the occult programs. God damn it, I saw it coming.
Ancient build-a-race technologies.
Build-a-race. It's like Build-A-Bear, but with the human race, I think.
and even being a part of these meetings with visiting extraterrestrials.
Extraterrestrial meetings too, of course. Why not? You know, fuck it. You know, and unicorns are there too. They're overseeing. Okay, the unicorns and the Bigfoots, they work together. You know, they have a board. There's a board of unicorns, Bigfoots, reptilian humanoids. He's actually probably going to talk about reptilian humanoids in a second here. But they have a board, and they oversee the programs of the occult programs. And then
there are both positive and negative extraterrestrials. The US government in the 1950s under the Eisenhower administration made agreements with some of these extraterrestrial races, and they have joint projects. So people who are initiated at those higher Freemasonry levels are part of those classified programs. People call them unacknowledged special access programs, and they will go wherever there's a crash.
Unacknowledged special access programs. Yeah, it's the programs that nobody knows about. You have to have special access for. Well, except that the people that do know about it, those programs are, you know, people like this guy.
UFO, wherever an extraterrestrial is captured, wherever they find some ancient technologies, such as in Antarctica and so forth, there'll always be a high-level Freemason there above the 33-degree level who will essentially kind of like take control of the situation. And you have the military, which is merit-based. Obviously, they are also having a very keen interest in all of these technologies and these extraterrestrials that are part of how the planet is governed. And so there's a power struggle between these high-level Freemasons above 33 degree and
the alien and the alien reptilian humanoids.
The military, the rank and file military.
Damn it, military. But the military's like alien though or something, right?
Who want to take control of these advanced technologies.
Oh, they just want to take control of the advanced technology. No, okay. Yeah, I was close, but
for the betterment of society. And so this power struggle, I think, is what's reflected in what's happening in Washington, D.C. now. I think Trump federalizing police in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, we've reached satanic atheist or satanic aliens. Yes, that's where we're at. Because fuck it, why not?
He has much more to do than just dealing with criminals, petty crime, homeless vagrants, and so forth in Washington, D.C. This is the move that the White Hats have been waiting.
Hold up, 40 times that I have my bifurcated tongue. So when conspiracy theorists start talking about lizard people, I turn on my cam and lick my lips every once in a while. You're not helping, okay, with the goddamn conspiracy. Like, see, they're even right there. There's even a high Mason, a little higher than a 33rd level Mason right there. Because it's clearly a reptilian humanoid with the technologies and everything like that. It's a satanic alien. Oh my god. Just like freaking them all out. Or just validating. That is so funny. That is a great troll, though, I gotta say. Hold on, what was the end of it? Watching their eyes as they see it is priceless. That's fucking. Do you have the eyes by any chance too? You get the slit eyes.
To find
so fucked up.
Finally take out the satanic cults that are in charge of Washington, D.C. and of these deep, dark projects that are all about control of these advanced extraterrestrial technologies.
They always have to get to like the dumbest shit. Like, it's all about control of these advanced extraterrestrial technologies. Yeah, of course.
And the pentagram that you showed earlier on is vividly demonstrates how this was from the very beginning envisaged by these higher level Freemasons.
It's not even finished, man. Like you can't say a symbol is a symbol if it's not the fucking symbol. That's the point of symbols. Okay, man? Like you can't. Jesus Christ. Like it's like if you flip up the eye, if you take an eye and flip it upside down, an exclamation point is actually an eye. No, they're two different fucking symbols, whether it's upside down or not, you dipshit. Like,
Now, many critics will say, well, that's not a pentagram, that's something else because you don't see it joined.
Is he listening to me? Kevin, are you telling him what I'm saying? Yeah, you are, aren't you? Not cool, man. God damn it, Kevin. Swear to God.
You see the line
fucking ruining the goddamn stream.
From that one of the lines doesn't extend across to complete the pentagram.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
you should get some reptile contacts. I'm surprised you don't have those too.
In occult circles, this is described.
You get your face tattooed too. Just fuck it. Just go full, and then get those spikes that you can have implanted in your skull. It's not very lizardy or anything, but it still freak them out pretty good.
As an incomplete or broken pentagram. Now, a pentagram normally is something that you can use to protect yourself from satanic forces. But the broken pentagram is an invitation for satanic forces to come out. And so you have that pentagram immediately above.
See, normally, the pentagram, the thing that Christians are so super scared of, they unknowingly could just be drawing this symbol that they're terrified of to protect themselves from the witch, reptilian, humanoid, extraterrestrials with the extraterrestrial technology. But they got it wrong the whole time. It's they just thought the symbol was bad.
Washington, D.C. And I think this is what the intent was from the very beginning, that at some point Washington, D.C. Would really be subverted from its goal of, or the original intent was to establish the new Atlantis, something positive and hopeful for all humanity.
The new Atlantis. Yeah, that's it. It's all the fish people just coming up, and they're gonna rule the land the same way they did in that underwater place.
But instead,
where Aquaman is from,
through the broken pentagram and the establishment of these satanic groups in Washington, D.C. that control the power elite there, it became the center for this very aggressive American imperialism, which we have witnessed all around the world. But I think Donald...
Don't forget to mention how itchy the new human suit you bought has become after washing it. No more clarification than that. Yeah, you just start acting like like the bug from Men in Black. Sugar and water.
Trump, he's working with these very positive white hat forces, the Earth Alliance, to take Washington, D.C. back and to remove the satanic groups from the power they hold. And they are very, very dark and very powerful, but they can be removed.
Very dark, very powerful.
From power.
If you
I feel like I thought he was about to do a racism, but there's none.
Are also a lifelong learner, also like me, in a constant state of aporia, wondering, what is it I don't know? I'm willing to break down my beliefs and learn new things. Well, then you can become a Hillsdale education enthusiast.
What is this? Where you can go learn about the reptilian humanoid, a satanic extraterrestrial technology holding Masons. I don't at this college. Is that what it is?
When you people,
well, they just print out, they just print out certificates for you. You're like, he did the online course. He checked yes to all the boxes, which means you get a certificate.
Hear people say, well, that's unconstitutional. How do you really know? Well, you can take courses such as the free online course called The Federalist. The Federalist Papers were written by two of America's most important founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, and together they explain what actually was the purpose of the Constitution. What were they trying to do so that you can
like
use
the Federalist Society? Is that what puts this on? Is that why it's all weird?
Use that term in an educated way, break down your knowledge of it and build it from the ground up. And today it's our responsibility to pay attention.
Break down your knowledge of it and then build it from the ground up.
To these kind of things. They have many courses just like that, more than 40 free online courses, a course in C.S. Lewis, the stories in the book of Genesis.
This course in C.S. Lewis? What? What do you mean in C.S. Lewis?
The rise and fall of the Roman Republic.
Ah, Jesus. Can we get a Q&A with Kevin? Kevin is very shy. Okay, he doesn't. They're asking for you again. I know. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. Good luck getting him on the camera. He's like he panics. He'll just freeze, and then he'll be even more embarrassed. And then I'm worried he'll quit because and I kind of need a producer because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Obviously. Anyway, all right, Joe. Thanks for hanging out. This was super fun. Yeah, that was a good one. A lot of good videos today, I think. But and if you want to, it's not really a good segue there. But if you want to mess around with sex toys, god damn it, just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley, and check out to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley. And adamandeve.com is America's #1 adult toy dispensary. Save yourself a trip to that sticky store and have the sex toys sent directly. The packaging is discreet, it comes quickly, and so can you. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Bentley. And if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, or you can do a bunch of other shit, right? You can become a patron at patreon.com/bunkapostate. You can do a one-time thing on Cash App if you don't want stuff coming out of your account. Totally agree. Totally understand that. Our cash tag is bunkapostate. You can also become a member of our wonderful channel here, where you get like extra live streams and stuff like that. If you just click that join button, you can become a member. You get extra live streams that are made just for members, like once every couple of weeks, and then you also get some of the live streams that go straight to members after it's done being lives, so it switches over. But so you don't want to miss out on that sort of stuff, you can become a member, right? And then you also get videos that are made just for the members, and then you also get shit early, right? So you get a lot of stuff anyway. Become a member. But you can also email me at punkapostate@gmail.com, and if I get anything wrong or anything like that, or just want to let me know your deconversion story or anything like that, love hearing that type of stuff. Also, you can join our Discord. We have a Discord, and it's a lot of fun in there. You can give me suggestions, things like that, right? And you can also follow me on all the socials, and all the links will be below. If you did enjoy this, you could hit that like button. I'd appreciate that. It does help out the algorithm there. But the main thing you can do is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time. How about that back?